The race for Arizona governor, you want to talk about an early victory. Look at this. Doug Ducey getting an 18-point win over David Garcia. And, yeah, that's a big margin. And, you know, we saw some polls putting him up as many as 19 points right before the election, and they appeared to be pretty close there. So Doug Ducey will be your governor for 4 more years. Now, we both got an assignment, or we were asked to attempt an assignment to get embedded inside the 2 campaigns for Arizona governor.
Right. So Troy hung out with Governor Doug Ducey, and I had reached out to David Garcia's campaign. They did not respond. They said that they, chose not to take part in that. But Doug Ducey said yes, of course, come behind the scenes.
David Garcia basically disappeared almost in the last 2 weeks of this campaign.
From all media.
And so maybe, So anyway, it's tough for her to get in there. So we were able to go into the... So let's put up a few pictures that I took. I took these on my cell phone here. So this is the first picture. So this is when the returns were first starting to come in. And you can see to the middle left part of your screen, that is Cindy McCain. So she was in there. The governor is standing with one of his sons there. He's got his arm around him. I think somebody may have been, oh no, they were looking up at the screen and looking at the numbers. So he's got his arm around his son. His wife Angela is there to the left, and she's in the kind of blue dress with the necklace. In the foreground here in the hat is JP Twist, and he basically ran the whole campaign. So that was really interesting to be back in there. They had computers tabulating votes from all over the state, also national races, and then they would write the results up on a whiteboard in front of the room. But it was called really quickly.
And you were mentioned, like JP in the hat. They have a lot of smart people behind the scenes working the numbers.
Oh, really smart.
I mean, it really is kind of this a very big effort. It's not just, hey, I'm running for office. There's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes.
And there's a lot of science behind this. I mean, there was a young woman who's probably about 30 years old who I met there who apparently was the big numbers guru, and she was just whip smart and tabulating all these numbers. So it was really neat being in that room. Let's take the next picture. And so we were able to walk now. So now we left, that was Mountain Shadows. We walked into the Doubletree, where the big event was, the big Republican event. And again, there's JP in the middle of your screen.
You can see that this is a restricted area. I mean, the fence there.
Oh, yeah, we went down into a basement. And, because you're coming up, you don't want to walk him right through the middle of the room. You got to walk from backstage. And so we were all walking together, and all of a sudden the governor takes a phone call. And I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be some quick phone call. But, I mean, it went on for like a minute or two, and I'm thinking, well, this is odd. We're walking up to the stage. You could hear the crowd, murmuring, because he's getting ready to come up there. And that was David Garcia calling him to concede. So he stopped right there in this hallway, and he took the concession phone call.
And he's right in front of you, right here in the bottom.
No, he's actually behind JP. I had walked ahead so we can get a better angle of him walking through.
I see, okay.
Anyway, as he's walking up to the stage is when he got the phone call from David Garcia congratulating him on his win. Okay, next slide. So here is a side view of the governor as he's giving his acceptance speech. Next slide. I think we missed one. One more. There. And there's a shot. I kind of got up on the podium. So he's looking back, and you can see what the candidate sees or anybody up on stage. So that whole back area, those are all the assorted media. There were national media there and, of course, local media, and they were all taking the podium. Next shot. Was that the last one? One more. Oh, so then he waded out into the crowd. That's him right in the middle of your screen right there. You can barely see him. It's kind of, there's 2 women kind of looking at him right in the middle. And he's got a security detail behind him, so he waded in the crowd and said thank you to all of his supporters out there. So that was a really neat behind-the-scenes look at that campaign. So here, I did tape something that I want to show you. So we were doing an interview with him right as the early returns just came in, and this happened.
I was always on the side of the teachers. It was about getting the raise through our legislature. I'm thrilled that we were able to get the raise through the legislature. And that's, and this is...
AP just called this raise?
Congratulations. Thank you. Thanks so much. Hey guys, thank you.
How cool is that? You were the first to congratulate him.
Yeah, how about that?
He didn't know what was happening behind him, right?
Yeah, I think he kind of heard. Again, that was his campaign manager, JP, who stood up and said, hey, the race is just called. So there you go. Thank you to the Ducey campaign for giving us that access, and he's in office 4 more years now.
All right, so let's take a, well done, by the way.
Oh, yeah.